But as Scott said, my name is Caleb Hughes. I'm one of the leaders of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes Club at West Brunswick High School. And another thing about me is that I am a senior this year. I'm the class of 2020, and because of that, I'm missing out on graduation, the last few months of school, and prom. And whenever I first got the news of we were out for 2 weeks, I was like, oh, okay, I'm not entirely okay with that because I have a lot of tough classes I'm taking. But at the same time, I was still welcoming to the break. But then at the end of that 2 weeks, it got extended to, I believe, May 15th. And then I realized that this whole COVID-19 thing was a very serious problem, and that I was going to miss out on what is known as just like a rite of passage for seniors. I'm not going to be able to walk across the stage. I'm not going to be able to have my name called. I'm not going to be able to spend my senior prom with my friends and talk to them all. And it's just been extremely discouraging. And for about a week, I had this attitude of, why should I have to deal with this? This is not fair. It's my senior year of high school. Why is it that I am missing out on all these things that all the people before me and after me will get to have? Why is it me in particular? But thankfully, it just kind of hit me one day. There's this sign above one of the doors in the hallway of our house, and it's one of my mom's favorite Bible scriptures. And it's Psalm 118, chapter 24. And I'm walking through the house one day, kind of in a bad mood, and I walk up to it, and I don't know what it is, but I just stop and look at it for a second, and I read it, and it reads, "This is the day which the Lord hath made. We will rejoice and be glad in it." And I got to thinking about it. This is a day that God has given me to live, and I'm going to sit here and mope. I mean, it just really put me in a lot of thought. I got to thinking, well, let's see here. What about the bright side of things? I'm able to speak to all of you and still continue working with FCA, which has been a blessing my entire high school career. I thought I'd never get to do an FCA lesson again, but I'm here talking to you, all of you here. And I have teachers working extremely hard online to give us these resources that we need to graduate, even if I'm not going to get a ceremony. And I mean, that's just a big assumption that I'm not even going to get a ceremony, because Miss Benton, our principal, has said that she is working diligently to give us a graduation ceremony. And so for the first time in like a week, I was saying, why on earth was I being so negative about everything? I got to thinking that this really is not something I should be complaining about, because it could be a lot worse. In fact, I'll even give you guys the link to this. I found this the other day. I'll send it in the chat here. This is a letter that a Louisiana school teacher wrote to the entire class of 2020. He just wrote it and published it, and everyone can go read it. And I got to reading it, and he was saying that he knows how we feel, because he too missed out on his senior year of high school. Not for the same reason as us, but because of Hurricane Katrina. As many of you may know, the hurricane hit Louisiana very hard, and he was talking about how he had to finish high school in a completely different state because of all the flooding and all the damage to houses. But as you can see, I have power, I have a house, I have a roof over my head, and I don't have to finish school in an atmosphere that is foreign to me. And it got me thinking that I need to rejoice and be glad in every day that God gives me. I need to look for the good in the world, no matter what situation I'm in. I was almost ashamed of myself that first week that we were out, where I was just putting everything down. I was saying, what's the point in working hard on online school if I'm not going to get all these senior rites and passages and stuff? But then I got to thinking about all that I could be thankful for, and it's just been such a blessing. It's like Mr. Frank said. I mean, even though this has been a terrible time and a really different time, so to speak, I've had more time to dedicate to my Bible and learning about the Lord, and that in and of itself has been a blessing. So it made me think, what if God just did all this to give us like a snap back to reality type situation where we have to take time to slow down, focus less on maybe our work and other things, and focus more on Him and our families. And in seeing that, it has been very much a blessing. And then I got to thinking about it's a great time to live for something like this to happen, because we're very technologically advanced. And you think if this would have happened like 20 years ago, we wouldn't have these video chat type things that help us talk to each other and spread the word of God, even though we're not in each other's presence. And it just really opened my eyes, and I realized, this is not something that I should be sad about, but I should make the most of and try to witness to people and talk to people and spend time with my family, and realize that it could be a lot worse. And because of that, we need to focus on the good. And it's really told me that in every situation, you can find the good in it. You just have to look for it. Because if you're just doing what I was doing and basically just only looking for the bad in things, thinking about, well, why do I have to miss out on my senior prom? Why do I have to miss out on this? Why can't I go my last few months of school? Then I'm not really seeing the good in things and what God has done for us. And, you hear all these things on the news about how, like 80% of the world is covered in this disease, but oftentimes we forget that God is still 100% in control.
Amen.
And all we have to do is be loyal to Him and turn our attention to Him in these times. And then I believe that this will be lifted and we'll get through it like we have everything else. And that's really all I could think of to say for today. But I just challenge each and every one of you, as you're going through these hard times, to not do what I did the first little bit and look at the bad in this situation, but think of how much worse it could be, and how, in comparison to what's happened to other people, such as the Hurricane Katrina deal, we're still able to do a lot of things comparatively. We have a lot to be thankful for when you really look at it. So does anyone have anything they'd like to add or share?